Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to continue our journey down the digestive system and talk about one of my favorite topics, the stomach. All right, so the stomach is supposed to take apart the foods that you eat and start the whole digestive process, and it does this with many things. Most important is its acidity. All right, so this is the only sciencey part that you really need to know in order to understand this. But it is important, and some of you remember this from science class, okay? But we're going to talk about pH, okay? pH measures whether or not something's acidic or basic or neutral, all right? So down here is 0, and that's acidic, and 14 is basic, and 7 is neutral. All right, so on this scale here, we have vinegar, which clocks in at about 2.4 on the pH scale. And if we measure bleach, it's about 11 on the pH scale. Stomach acid should be somewhere between 1.5 to 3.5 on the scale. So here is the profound truth about your stomach and overall digestion, and that is that the stomach will not empty unless it has enough acid. Okay? And if the stomach does not empty, the food stays there until the other meal comes and pushes it out. So having food stuck in the stomach for a long period of time is not good for the body. First of all, things kind of rot in there and get icky. The carbohydrates that you eat, they start to ferment, then you're basically making beer. That's no good, right? And as the food is stuck in there, it may push up onto the little muscle that's there to keep it down. It's called the esophageal sphincter. And if it keeps getting pushed up upon over a long period of time, what happens is it can lose its tone. And that, my friends, is where you get heartburn, acid reflux, GERD, all of those kinds of uncomfortable things. Yes, there is some stomach acid involved with the food that's coming up, which is why it's burning, but it's not enough acid to get the food to go downward. All right, so now you see why I'm sometimes horrified at the prevalence of these stomach acid reducers, right? They not only don't get to the root of the problem, but they continue the problem. So the answer to the problem, of course, is to give the stomach more acid. And there's several ways that you can do that. 1, chew your food like we talked about yesterday. 2, you could have a little bit of apple cider vinegar in some water and drink that with your meals. Don't do that if you have an ulcer, because that's a separate issue. But if you don't, that can work just fine. Another thing is you can check in with your stress, right? The nervous system keeps you either in fight or flight mode or rest and digest your food mode. So if you are running around in fight or flight all the time, your body's not going to make enough stomach acid so that you can digest your food, right? The other things that you can stay away from are overprocessed foods, particularly overprocessed dairy products, things that have been overpasteurized, homogenized, etc., etc. Stick to whole foods whenever you can. And then most of you know my big pet peeve are vitamins and particularly calcium supplements that are not of good quality. They can neutralize stomach acid and never get to your bones and the other places that it needs to go, right? So, all right, if you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to drop me a line anytime. This whole stomach acid issue has a lot of domino effects along the lines in the digestive system, and can lead to a lot of health issues that don't seem directly related to the digestion, but that can be. So sorry to leave you with a cliffhanger, but some of those health implications I am going to talk about tomorrow. All right, I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.